and so real quick, Daryl, I know it's another one, but these are follow-up. Daryl says, are you citing probability in your explanations or using the delta from the options table? No, on Power Options, I use the probability, not the delta. It's something that's shown in all of the credit spreads on all of the options chains. I can filter by it directly. The weekly bull puts I prefer minimum 85% probability or higher. That's what I screen for. Similar to the delta, but I prefer to use the probability personally, and that's what I use in my testing. All these here are above an 85% probability, still with 17, 14, 13% returns for 14 days out in time. Not sure if I do a Tesla bull put right now, but the strikes are far enough away that I'd probably be comfortable with it for a 14-day trade. Okay, Zaid, I'll get to your question in one moment. All right, I needed to address these other. Rick, great question here. We did an example of this a couple weeks ago. And, hey, perfect opportunity. Perfect opportunity. Rick says, can you walk through backtest with Power Options? Doesn't matter what strategy. Okay. First off, if you're on the backtesting subscription to Power Options, there are 3 tools you can use, Rick. I could just go directly, I'll just use Tesla, into the chain. Okay, this is not really a backtesting tool, but this is a historical tool that's available to you. I go into Tesla, I can see the call chain, the put chain, you know, based on what numbers I want to see, and I can select to go back any day back in time, back several years. Okay, so I can go to March 2018, select which day. So let me just do that. April 2018. What happened on or around the 13th of April 2018. Click Get the Chain. Tesla today is at 430. Back in April of 2018, Tesla was at $334. We've got the weekly series. It might have gone out 2 or 3 weeks. So what can I do? I can see the prices. I can see the data, the probability, theta, delta, gamma, theta, IV range, and more. And then I can go next or previous. I can just go day by day to see the changes. That's available for someone who wants to follow an idea of, I wonder how I could have profited on Apple the month before an expiration cycle and following 2 weeks after expiration. I'm sorry, earnings and 2 weeks after. But the chain's useful. You can go back any date, several years, and see what the prices were, calls or puts, and any of the data that you can select. Now, the backtest tools themselves. Just like you have for every strategy on Power Options, you have a standard search by symbol where I could look up credit spreads, covered calls, debit spreads, calendars, what have you, one stock at a time. So I'm going to see bull put credit spreads on April, oh, sorry, that's 19. April 2018, what date? Okay, let's keep it with the 13th. Okay. I'll keep less results right now in TSLA. So I can look at all results, more results, but it's only going to show you the top 20. And for Tesla, there's probably going to be about 85 for that time period, that depending on which expiration I select, too. Oh, it's still loading the available months. I'm sorry. Okay, so here's my April 20th, 7 days out. These don't have the probability I want. That's a problem. Probably want to go to more results now to see the higher probabilities in this case. Or I can use the search, the Smart History Excel. What does this allow me to do? I can go back to any date and time and run a criteria set. And you can create as many criteria sets you want in Power Options in any strategy. And once you do that, you can come back in and test how they would have performed. Test what? October 1st, 2019, weekly bull puts. Right before the light buy triggered when we were sort of falling down in price. What is this going to show me? This is going to show me the bull put credit spreads, Rick, that matched my default criteria or that saved search criteria in Power Options. I apologize. I know this takes a while to come up, and it's because we're dumping all of today's end-of-day data in there as well. So let's just wait for that to come up. I'll show everyone this at the end, of course, but Daryl just asked, what is your email for questions between webinars? Sometimes I'm not available a lot on the weekends, but I do check at least once or twice on Saturday and once or twice on Sunday. If you want to email us at any time, just email to support. Uh-oh, that's not a good sound. Just email to support@poweropt.com. So I'm going to send that to the chat window. You guys can take a look at that anytime. Support@poweropt.com. Okay, I heard that ting there, and I'm kind of concerned about that. That probably means it timed out, but we'll just see if it's still trying to find those ones. It's much faster than this, trust me, Rick. It's just because we're doing all of the data there. Right, there we go. Top 5 positions, Alta, Deere, Illumina, Dollar Tree. Now what can I do? Well, I can look at each individual one. I can go to Analyze Position and see how Alta Beauty performed every day from October 1st through the 11th. And what does it show me? It shows me the return on the position versus what happened with SPX and QQQ. And there's another graph which shows me how the short option and long option changed in price in relation to the stock price over that 11-day period. It shows me the minimum return and the maximum return. So I can look at the individual position. Or, it's going to take a while, I can calculate group results. And what's this going to do? It's going to take those top 8 or 9 trades that match my criteria and show me how all of them performed to expiration. Why would I do this? Well, I've created a search criteria. I want to see if this search criteria is yielding me good results. So I've created the search criteria that I think should work, whether it be covered calls, buying long calls with a 90 delta or higher, 3 months out in time, and saying, okay, how would have these 10 positions that match my criteria performed either over that expiration period or just to that expiration period, which is what I look for with, the covered calls here. Hey, am I getting assigned and earning the return I expect? Are my bull puts expiring worthless and I'm getting the return that I expect? If I'm not, what do I have to do, Rick? I got to go back and maybe change the criteria, maybe look for a better probability, accept a lower return, or look for more fundamentals, something along those lines. So that when I'm running this situation, I'm running the thing, I'm getting the results that I expect and that I want long term. All right, it's not up yet. There we go. Okay, so Alta, this one did hit a 56% loss. So we were 8 out of 9, 89% success rate, average return 2.3. Something happened to Alta where the lost $1.54 on the 2.5 point spread, so it was a 50% loss in the position. What happened? And now I want to check. So go into that Analyze Position and see when things started to change in that case. I wasn't in the Alta position, by the way. I know that for a fact. I think I was in Illumina and Deere on that cycle. Okay, so there's the graphs I was sort of telling you about. Go back here. So this is what? Showing me my return based on the changes in SPX. It's interesting here. Alta started to decline when QQQ and SPX started to start a recovery after that 10-2 drop. And the max return was 0 on the first day. This one never went to a profitable position, and the worst case scenario is down here at 93. That was the minimum return. I'm sorry, 10-8, 4 days before expiration. That was the minimum. And you can see the option bid asks as well. So something happened to Alta. I don't know if maybe it was related to something in the retail industry about products, or they had some competition pop up right before the holidays. I'm not sure. But that's how I use the back testing. A much better review. It might have been from Mark, actually, but let me just check here real quick. Come on. There we go. Let me go back here real quick. Iron Condor, put ratio, back spreads, maximizing returns, lock-in gains. I'm on the wrong page. Sorry. Okay. So in any case, I'll be right back. Go right back to the screen for everyone. Just 1 second. Okay. Just give me 1 quick second here. I know I paused the screen for a moment. There it is. This link right here. There we go. I mean, you're gonna see what I see here for a second, and it's probably don't need to see it, but I'm just gonna grab it. This is from a week ago. Right? Yeah, Mark asked us for a show and tell using the PowerOptions historical tools to test strategies on a single stock around earnings. So we shared using two, the historical chain, the historical search by symbol. But there's other webinars in here as well that go through the discussion of, I'm just going to send the YouTube link to the chat there for you, Rick. There's other webinars back on the main page. You just go to the oh, sorry, I wanted to go that one. But you go back to just the YouTube and look at Power Options, or just go to the webinars page I sent the link to earlier, and you'll be able to just search for, let's say, historical just write history. And then so you see some of the ones there, the historical tools, or I could do, yeah, I should do historical. Do historical, that's better. Quick look at the historical tools, historical performance. PowerOptions Swift Hills, 16 minutes of, there you go, it's one from about a year ago, but it's a 16-minute where I walk through using the historical tools and how I use them. Let me just copy that. I'm sorry, folks. There we go. And you can take a look at that YouTube video as well. So that's about 25, 30 minutes of videos to get you more into the historical tools. But it's also on the webinars page in addition to those two YouTube links I sent as well. Okay.